A man lights his last cigarette. Stalag WW2’s, Bavaria, February 1945. His name doesn't matter. None of them do anymore. What matters is the deal he's making. Across the mud-caked table sits another skeleton in British uniform, sliding a tin of sardines forward. The price? 40 cigarettes. The smoker hesitates. That tin means 3 days of protein. But those 40 smokes? They're his entire fortune. His ticket to a warmer bunk? Maybe a smuggled letter home? In Nazi POW camps, cigarettes weren't just tobacco. They were dollars, pounds, marks, all rolled into one fragile paper tube. This is the story of how 139,000 desperate men rebuilt civilization from ash and nicotine. Ronald Radford should have been teaching economics at Oxford. Instead, he's eating sawdust bread in a German prisoner camp, watching something extraordinary unfold. Captured during Rommel's North African campaign in 1941, Radford spent 3 years ping-ponging between Stalags Luft, the Third, Zeviv, others, whose names blur together in barbed wire and guard towers. But Radford had a gift. Where others saw only suffering, he saw an economics laboratory purer than any university could create. No government intervention, no central banks, no currency manipulation. Just raw human need colliding with scarcity. When he finally walked free in 1945, he wrote it all down. The economic organization of a POW camp. 20 pages that rewrote how economists understood money itself. His opening thesis hit like a grenade. Cigarettes became currency almost automatically. Almost automatically. As if money doesn't require kings or presidents or Federal Reserve chairmen. As if humans are hardwired to create it from whatever's available. Radford proved they are. Picture the first day. Fresh captures stumble off cattle cars into camp yards. Guards confiscate everything, watches, rings, wallets full of useless Reichsmarks or pounds sterling. Money, meaningless. Can't bribe German guards with British paper. Can't buy food that doesn't exist. The financial world these men knew, banks, paychecks, currency exchange evaporated. What remained? The Red Cross. International agreements guaranteed weekly parcels, 1 per man when supplies allowed. Standard Canadian parcel broke down to exact rations. 1 pound butter, 1 pound jam, 1/4 pound cheese, 2 cans of meat, milk powder, biscuits, chocolate bar, and 50 cigarettes. Smokers, probably 60% of any given camp ripped into those first. Lighting up killed the hunger gnawing their guts, killed the fear, killed the boredom of 2-3 hour a day confinement. Non-smokers stared at their 50 like they'd struck gold, because they had. Within 48 hours, shouting started. Trade chocolate for cheese. Anyone want jam? I'll take meat. Pure chaos. A Lancaster bomber pilot fresh from the front would trade his entire week's parcel for a single can of beef he didn't know any better. Veterans watched, calculating. The experienced POWs who'd been rotting here for months knew the rhythms. They knew supply. They knew demand. One veteran made 12 chocolate bars from newbie panic trades, sold them later for 60 cigarettes total. Profit, pure. Someone history doesn't record who nailed a wooden board to the bungalow wall. Scrawled in pencil, wanted, 1 tin butter. Offering, 50 cigarettes. Another appeared, offering, mending service, 5 cigarettes per item. Within days, every barracks had them. Prices emerged from the chaos like bone through mud. No committee set them. No decree ordered them. Men negotiated, gossiped, compared. Charlie got 80 cigs for his spare shirt yesterday. 80? That's robbery. I'd pay 70 max. The market found equilibrium. Shirts in new condition, 80 cigarettes. Butter, 1 pound tin, 50 cigarettes. Cheese, 1/4 pound, 15 cigarettes. Sardines or meat tins, 35 to 40 cigarettes. Milk powder, 25 cigarettes. Jam, 30 to 45 depending on flavor. Haircut, 5 cigarettes. Laundry service, full load, 2 cigarettes. Book rental, 1 week, 1 to 2 cigarettes. Why cigarettes as the base unit? Radford identified the checklist. Durability lasted weeks if kept dry. Portability fit any pocket. Survived roll call searches. Divisibility, 1 cig bought small items, packs bought large. Uniformity, every cigarette roughly equal value. Universal demand smokers craved them. Non-smokers knew smokers craved them. Self-limiting supply consumption destroyed roughly 20% of camp supply weekly through smoking. That last point, critical, built-in deflation. Every drag some addict took reduced total money supply. Non-smokers became accidental central banks, hoarding to sell high during droughts. Economics 101 played out in real time. German guards sometimes issued their own cigarettes as rewards for work details. Absolute garbage stems, floor sweepings, wrapped in newspaper. Harsh as breathing glass. But they were cigarettes, sort of. What happened? German smokes circulated for daily transactions, small trades, haircuts, minor debts. Meanwhile, premium American Camels, Lucky Strikes, British Players vanished into mattresses and fake floorboards, hoarded. Only brought out for major purchases, smuggled radios, maps, guard bribes. Counterfeiting emerged within months. Clever bastards would split a cigarette lengthwise, scrape out half the tobacco, replace it with dried leaves or paper shreds, reseal it with spit and prayer, pass it off in dim light. Got vicious when discovered camp justice meant beatings or exile to the coldest bungalows. Trust became everything. Trade with Davies, his cigs are always solid. Reputation served as credit rating. Markets don't stay amateur long. By month 3, camps had a full commercial class. The barbers, 2 RAF mechanics set up shop with smuggled scissors and a cracked mirror. 5 cigs, flat rate, line up Saturdays. Cleared 40 cigarettes weekly, 8 times a normal parcel. Spent it on extra food, warmer clothes. The tailors mending bullet-torn tunics, sewing insignia. Specialists charged premium 10 cigs for complex work, 5 for simple patches. The restaurateur's restaurant meant a guy with a hidden hot plate who'd cook your raw parcel ingredients into something warm. Fee, 10% of ingredients plus 2 cigarettes. The middlemen ruthless traders who worked hut to hut doing arbitrage. Bungalow 7's flush with jam right now, selling for 25 cigs. Bungalow 12's desperate, they'll pay 40. Buy low, walk 50 yards, sell high, profit, 15 cigarettes per trip. Radford documented one trader who'd grown his initial 50 cigarette parcel into 400 through pure arbitrage over 8 weeks. No smoking, pure accumulation. When asked why, the trader shrugged, "When we're liberated, I'll have enough to buy my way home in style." German guards weren't idiots. They saw the cigarette economy booming and wanted in. Bribes worked one way only, smokes, price list, established through brutal negotiation. 1 pack guard looks away during contraband pass. 2 packs medicine smuggled from camp hospital. 5 packs, 1 carton crystal radio receiver, death penalty if caught. 10 packs forged travel papers for escape attempt. In death camps, the real hells like Auschwitz subcamps, where extermination wasn't just policy but daily reality, cigarettes measured life in hours. 1 cigarette bought an extra ladle of soup. 3 cigarettes, a blanket for the night. 10 cigarettes, a letter, smuggled to family outside, confirmation you still lived. The entire Nazi camp system ran on tobacco. Guards supplemented pathetic Wehrmacht pay with carton bribes. Capos extracted tribute in smokes. Even SS officers weren't immune. American cigarettes fetched premium prices in German civilian markets. 1 carton could buy a week's groceries for a guard's starving family back home. Cigarettes bought houses sounds insane until you understand camp real estate. Standard bungalow. 100 men crammed into a structure meant for 40. Triple-stacked bunks. No privacy. No heat except 1 pathetic stove. Snoring, coughing, weeping through thin walls. Enterprising prisoners began buying space. Literally. 50 cigarettes bought enough scrapboards to partition off a bunk corner. 100 cigarettes secured a spot next to the stove premium winter real estate where temperatures hit -20 Celsius. 1 cigarette per night rented that stove-adjacent space to desperate men on rotation. The landlord cleared 30 cigarettes weekly just from rental income. Reinvested it into more boards, expanding his property. Full housing markets emerged, listings on notice boards, bidding wars, even evictions when tenants couldn't pay rent. All conducted in cigarettes. Late 1944. Allied bombing of German infrastructure intensified. Supply lines snapped. Red Cross parcels slowed to trickles, then stopped. Cigarette supply cratered. Prices exploded. 1 egg, smuggled from guards. 25 cigarettes in September. 100 cigarettes by December. 300% inflation in weeks. Fights broke out. Counterfeits flooded the market, destroying trust. The arbitrage traders who'd hoarded hundreds of cigarettes became kings or targets for theft. Murders happened over cartons. Radford noted severe discipline problems related to cigarette debts and theft. Then liberation. March-April 1945. Camps opened. POWs staggered toward Allied lines, pockets full of worthless cigarettes because the economy evaporated the instant real currency and real supply chains returned. Radford's paper detonated academic economics. Milton Friedman cited it. Friedrich Hayek used it to prove spontaneous order. Keynesian and Austrian economists both claimed it proved their models. Why? Because POW camps were perfect laboratories. No government, no regulation, no central bank, no legal tender laws. Just humans, scarcity, and desire. And humans created money anyway, automatically, inevitably. The exact same pattern repeated in post-war Germany. Reichsmarks became toilet paper. Cigarettes ruled. American GIs bought priceless art and antiques with PX cigarette rations, flipping them stateside for fortunes. German workers demanded payment in smokes, not currency. The cigarette economy persisted until currency reform of 1948. It's repeating now. Venezuela, cigarettes and dollars, not bolivars. Zimbabwe, anything but Zimbabwe dollars. Wherever government currency dies, cigarettes rise. Or bullets, or gold, or Bitcoin, which is just digital cigarettes, scarce tokens for the apocalypse. Radford proved the uncomfortable truth. Money doesn't come from governments. Governments just formalize what humans create naturally from whatever holds value. Take away the formality. Humans rebuild the system in hours. When the real collapse comes, and history promises it always does, your stash of cigarettes, gold, ammunition, or skills buys the real estate. Your government's paper? Kindling. If that changed how you see the dollar in your pocket, hit subscribe. More financial history they bury in footnotes drops every week.